Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, good morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Greg Ratliff is our show producer. One of his 12 jobs that he does, he is a living, I don't know when he's awake and when he's not awake, but he has so many jobs, but we couldn't do it without Greg taking your calls when we have Open Mic Saturday, keeping us straight in here. And, of course, Frank Barton is here keeping me straight, as he's attempted to do for many, many years from the Barton Power Sports in West Memphis and Jonesboro. And I know, Frank, this next guy and this next event, you know about it. A lot of folks know about it. It's one of the top events of its kind in the United States, maybe a forerunner of all of them like this. But I can hardly believe this is the 25th anniversary of the physically challenged deer hunt at Arcabutler Lake. And we've got on with us this morning the man who tries to coordinate this and keep it all running smoothly is Ernie Lentz. He is the land use program manager at Arcabutler Lake Field Office for the Corps of Engineers. Good morning, Ernie.
Good morning, guys. I hope you all having a great morning.
We are, Ernie, and we.
Well, some of us.
Frank, this being Saturday, Frank's got to get over and duck hunt. So
I'm missing an opening morning right now.
That's what I was going to say. This is opening morning for deer in Mississippi. So as soon as I get off the phone, I'm running to the stand.
Yeah, I know it, Ernie. It's opening day of deer in Tennessee, too, and things like that. So, but just put it all behind you because you got a great event, Ernie. 25 years. I know Dean Hunter laid the foundation for this, and then you have come along. Tell our listeners a little bit about this year's event, when it is, and how many hunters you're going to have, a little details.
Well, this year's hunt is the 25th anniversary of our physically challenged hunt. It's December 4th through the 7th here at Arcabutler Lake in the natural area below the dam. And let's see, we've got 64 hunters that are scheduled to hunt over the 4 days. So I've got a full crew right now, and as always, I'm always begging for volunteers because it takes a lot to get these guys in and out of the woods, and just all the logistics that go along with this hunt, everything. So I guarantee you, if you come and participate, it's a worthwhile event, and you will leave here with a different frame of mind.
You will, won't you? And Ernie, tell our listeners a little bit about the participants themselves.
Well, to participate in this hunt, you have to be a paraplegic, a quadriplegic, or ambulatory with the use of leg braces, crutches, such as that. So you're pretty much mobility impaired. And so we get some guys who are in a pretty difficult situation. In years past, we've had hunters who all they could move was their head, and this guy had a device put on his rifle, and we actually strapped him in the back of a mule, and we had somebody with him that would line the gun up for him, and he would blow into that device to fire the gun, and so I mean we do a lot of things, and we see a lot of guys in situations that really makes us appreciate how blessed we truly are.
That's exactly right. And again, we're talking to Ernie Lentz. He is the land use program manager at Arcabutler Lake, but also the coordinator for the upcoming 25th annual physically challenged deer hunt. And Ernie, I know, how long have you been involved with it?
Well, let me see. I missed the first 3 hunts, and then so I'm 22 years. Yeah. And I started as a volunteer and then became a team leader and eventually the hunt coordinator. So memories,
Ernie, I know you go away from this. I don't know how many, despite all these years, you still leave the event with memories, right?
Oh, definitely. For a lot of the guys that come, and the new folks come in every year and everything, and one of the things I hear from the hunters is, and the reason that they come back is this is kind of like a family reunion. Mm-hmm. A lot of these guys now have, because of this hunt, there's other hunts closer to home for them and everything, but they come back to this one because a lot of them, this is where they got started, after their injury or accident, and while they were trying to reacclimate themselves to the world, they came to this hunt and saw that life was not over, and that there's others out there in the same condition. Some of them may be worse, and so they, grab on to life and say, okay, let's go, and so it's just an awesome time.
And I know Ernie also 64 hunters. Is that about normal, or is that?
Well, that's a little more than what we've had. I mean, every stand right now that I have will be full.
How many stands?
Well, I've got 32 stands, so I'm hunting 32 guys the first 2 days and 32 guys the second 2 days.
Wow.
And so
and volunteers, you the people are out there. You have the campfire, you have the camp setting. It's like a reunion, because I know some of these guys have probably been coming 10 or 15 years. I don't know. You've lost some, have deceased, but it's people that's come, and they come from where, Ernie, primarily?
Well, here of late, like I said, because of other hunts that have started and everything, the majority of our hunters come from the Mid-South area,
okay.
Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Missouri, Arkansas.
Okay.
But back in the day, we used to have folks come from across the country. We've had folks from as far north as New Hampshire, as far as west as New Mexico. We used to have a big contingent come from Florida, and these guys came here and then saw what was going on and went back
and started their own, right?
Right. Talked to folks in their state and got stuff started, and we've had folks come and come to the hunt just to observe what we're doing and how we're doing it and stuff, to go back to start hunts. So
and you guys kill some deer too, right?
We do occasionally. Well, I say we try, because some hunters. I've got some guys who, if they pull the trigger, the meat hits the ground, and then I got some that, they just sling lead. So
but the experience is what counts. And you're an area that's not hunted, right? I mean,
that's correct. This is the natural area where we have our nature trails. It's 1,000 acres. That this is the only time of the year that it's hunted. And
it's a management
to manage
too.
our deer population there in that area.
Yeah, and so you had the drawing back in September to get your qualifications in, and so you've got the crew ready, and you got enough firewood, Ernie?
They're still stacking it up.
Because you go through a little bit of firewood at that camp, don't you?
Yes, sir. I think we burned 3 racks last year.
Wow.
And so I made sure, I told them the other day I was looking at it, I said, add another rack, boys.
Add another rack. And then and you have your tents and everything else. Describe the setting for the people that maybe don't know about it.
Well, we've kind of graduated from tents. We've got some metal buildings.
Woo, okay.
That are, we used to move them after the hunt, and in the last couple of years we've left them in place and stuff. So we've moved up a little bit, but we've got a metal building that's the kitchen feeding area, and so we feed these guys and make sure that they eat if they need to and take their medicine and stuff. And then we've got a smaller metal building that I think's got 10 beds in it as a sleep area for those. It's in a campground, so if folks bring their camper and stuff, they can camp for free, and we get some guys that put up tents and such as that. So we try to make it as much as possible a deer camp
setting
and environment, and also.
But you need volunteers. If anybody would like to help, how do they? If they say, "I'd like to come down there and help with this, with cooking, with helping with the hunters," what do they have to do that?
Well, they can give me a call. They can come by the office here, the Archibald Lake Field office. If they want to. If they want to just call me, they can call my direct line at 662-301-4561. And if I'm not here, just leave me a message and I'll get back to you. But the main thing is
what do you need? What do you need? What do you need?
Well, there's always needs. As in years past with our hunters, I'm losing my hunters who are capable of operating four-wheelers and everything. So we're having to put more and more of our hunters in using side-by-sides, and because I only have about half of my stands are accessible by truck, and then the other half were set up for ATVs. And so when I lose an ATV rider, and that stand, either I have to put them in by a side-by-side, or else that stand's not hunted. And so, and then, trying to get them all out. We try to get them all out at one time, so we get them in the woods and get out and let things settle down. But
it's hard.
Side-by-sides and stuff. If a volunteer comes, if he's got a side-by-side, he can bring it. Hallelujah, we can definitely put you to work.
Hey, Ernie, it's Frank. I'll bring you some, and I'll try and bring you people this time as well. I brought you units in the past and hadn't been able to bring any people, so I'll see if I can round up a person or two to.
How about that, Ernie?
To come on. To help
Mr.
out,
Frank,
help
I appreciate it so much. You've always been a big help to us, and we greatly appreciate it.
Well, it's a special deal. I delivered some stuff. I think it was a year before last, but I got there. It was late in the evening. In fact, it was 0 dark 30 when I arrived. And when Ernie says they try and make things just like a hunting camp, folks, I'm telling you, I've been in a lot of hunting camps. There's no different from that environment than any place else that I've been to. The only thing is most of the people bring their own chairs with them.
Yeah, they have their chairs.
They got their own chairs with them.
Well, Ernie, there you go, Frank. Thank you, Frank. I know that. I've been the mouthpiece for this event. So if you folks out there, go to lroutdoors.com, my website. We got some information posted. Ernie sent a press release, and get behind this thing. 25 years. What a wonderful event. And I think it's. It's the same. It's the same weekend as the Memphis St. Jude Marathon here in Memphis, and they do a lot of great work. But you guys do unbelievable work, Ernie. And my hat's off to the state of Mississippi, to the Corps, for all your volunteers that do this. And we're going to talk to Ernie that Saturday. We'll try to get Ernie on that Saturday sometime during that time, and see how it's going. Ernie, thank you, buddy. God bless you for what you do, okay?
Hey, guys, thank you all.
All right, we'll talk to you. All right, let's take a break. Come right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and talk birds now. I like birds. I like cardinals, particularly baseball. All right, we'll be right back on ESPN 790.
Find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry.